Welcome back, everyone. Oh, that just looks terrible. Can I do this? There we go. That's better. I mean, I look terrible, but so welcome back, everybody, for part two of our red teaming with generative AI from the Mastering AI for Cybersecurity course. And that's at cybersuperhuman.ai. You can also find us at threatgen.com. So that's it. That's my plug. That's it. So if you be sure, I have to say this because every YouTuber says it. So, you got to like and subscribe so I can make more of these. And that's it. All right. That's all I'm saying. So let's bring back our faithful Gregor. There you are. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, good evening. And
good evening. It is kind of evening. It's 3 p.m. here in my. Do you know what today is? Does anybody in chat know what today is? Look at that. We got some people from the UK here. Do you know what today is? Well, other than the first day of the rest of your life, which my dad always used to tell me. No, today is the spring equinox. It's the longest day of the year. And not only that, I believe they talk a lot about equinoxes in like fantasy shows. Let me fix my camera a little bit. The Dark Crystal. Remember the Dark Crystal? Okay. Anyway, they probably don't have that in Germany. No. What about the Black Cauldron?
I love that one.
All right. We're just wasting time here. Sorry. Right. So previously on cybersuperhuman.ai, we screwed a lot of stuff up and we're unable to get some things working. But now I got some things working. I want to show everybody how this works and do a little bit of experimentation with it. And so if you watched this morning's stream that I did on using CoPilot to build full stack apps automatically without writing any code yourself, then you'll notice I got the same shirt. You probably didn't see the shirt. What does this say? This says, oh, you can't see it. It says artificial intelligence can't fix human stupidity. So, all right, but I changed hats because it's red teaming. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's share because sharing is caring. All right. So I always thought, when I was a kid, when people said sharing is caring, I thought they would say Sharon is Karen because Texas, right? They don't say caring, I say Karen, right? I'm caring about this. So, so they say. So when I heard growing up in Texas, they'd say Sharon is Karen, and I'm like, I don't get it. And then when I met somebody named Sharon, I'm like, so is your name really Karen? And so that as a stupid little kid. So anyway, Sharon is Karen. All right. So let me explain a few of the things that we did wrong last time. Okay. And if you haven't watched the previous video, part one, it's right before this one, 2 videos before this one, I think. So go back and watch that and you'll see what not to do. But we talked a little bit about all this code already. And here, let me get my yellow bouncing ball out. There we go. Now we can sing along. DEF, open file, like in the cartoons, bouncing balls. So you can sing along as a kid. All right. Yes. Am I delirious today? Yes. Why? Because I didn't get any sleep last night. So I'm a little delirious, a little hopped up on Mountain Dew. You ever seen Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights? I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. All right. So what we saw before, so the problems we were having before in the last episode was we kept getting this OpenAI error trying to use the WSL Windows. I figured out what WSL stands for. It's not Windows Subsystem for Linux. It's Windows sucks with Linux. That's what it stands for. And we're getting these errors. And so really it boils down to you have to make sure that you are in the right environment. So here in Conda, in VS Code, which I'm using, by the way, so what I'm doing here, man, I got something in my throat. We have a VirtualBox here. VirtualBox is free virtual machine, and I'm using a Kali Linux installation of that. And then I've installed everything I need on here, Python, and then I've installed the VS Code for Linux. And I really like the fact that I can use everything cross-platform. So I'm using like VS Code, Python, all my Node.js stuff. Everything I'm using is cross-platform. So I could use it on my Mac OS, which is my preferred development platform. I can use it on Windows, which I'm using here, and I can use it on Linux. And so I'm using it here. And, you know, if we're on the default environment, virtual machine, see, before we had this, and I even tried installing OpenAI's, the pip install OpenAI in Windows WSL, and it just wasn't working. And so once I'm on Kali Linux, and there's just a lot of things that weren't working correctly on that, and then let's talk about that. But so when we make sure that we're in the proper environment, okay, and so here I just created one for Cyber Superhuman right here. And now I have everything installed properly. These little squiggly lines will go away, and we have all the libraries installed properly. And then we go back through the code, okay? So we're importing OpenAI so that we can get our key, our OpenAI API key. And then we have to do this explicitly. From OpenAI, we also have to import the OpenAI class. And you have to do that explicitly because we're going to instantiate a new class object of OpenAI. We'll just call that client. And then so we're going to have all our file operators here. We have one for open file, save file, and append file. And I just did 3 different versions of that. And I've named them as in file, out file, and another out file because you're doing the same operation of the file. You're either appending or writing or overwriting. And so here's where we're getting our OpenAI key. So we have to have that OpenAI module installed here so that we can get the API key from the environment variables, right? But you can also create a hidden environment file, a .env file, and then reference it there as well. But when you do that, you also have to get the .env. You have to import .env there if you want to use a .env file instead of and you would typically do that whenever you want to create an application, right? If you're just using this locally, it's okay to use your own environment variables. But if you're going to build an app, then you would create that .env file and just make it easier to manage all of your API keys and stuff like that. And so then here we have the entire chain of methods that we have here to initiate communication with the OpenAI, we have to use that OpenAI object that we instantiated in the form of client, and then .chat.completions.create. And then here, I'm going to just go ahead and do like the default. Actually, I should be. Am I not typing? What's going on here? Oh, I don't have number. That's why. Sorry. I hope I didn't screw anything up. I don't have the number. Where did I just screw up?
The max tokens. You deleted them.
Okay, yeah. So 8192. I didn't have my number lock on. That way it just gives us plenty of room to return stuff. Otherwise, it might. It's just returning commands though, so it should be okay. And then we're going to return. Okay, we're going to return the response. It's going to send back a response. The OpenAI API. And the reason I turned the temperature way down so it doesn't like give me too much. It pretty much gives me the most common command back. When I give it a natural language processing prompt, it's going to give me the most common response to that, which we'll look at here in a minute. And so it's going to return a JSON object, and we're going to be stripping that out. So we're going to pull the choices, the message, and content. And I'm not really going to go over right now what that JSON object looks like and what you can pull out of it, but suffice it to say, this is how you pull the response out of that JSON object. Now, there's some really cool things you can pull out of there, and I'll cover that another time, like token counts and things like that. So you can keep track of your tokens and cost and all that, which is really cool. And then we've got some error handling here. Now, the prompt itself, and like we did cover this last, I think it's going to be home. Yeah, there it is. All right, that's what we want. Come on. Okay, so the prompt, and we covered, like I said, we covered this last time. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, that's going to break something, I'm sure. All right, so we covered this last time in kind of what the prompt was. And it's pretty simple. We're saying, provide me with the Kali Linux command necessary to complete the following request. I'm saying specifically Kali Linux. Now, we tried this using, provide me with the PowerShell command, provide me with this. And it just didn't do well. But this does really well with Kali Linux. I even tried this on Mac OS, and it didn't do very well. I said, provide me with the Mac OS ZSH shell command to do this. And it just didn't do well. So this really is tailor-made for Kali Linux. This is a Kali Linux CoPilot. It's really what it is. And so then we're going to put this in brackets here, input, because we're going to search for that. We're going to replace it. And this is the command that I'm using. And so to give it, so it just gives me a single output, right? So assume I have all necessary apps, tools. You can read that. And basically telling it, don't provide me with anything else. Give me the simplest form of the command, but provide all the options, the pipes and everything. And then what is this? Oh, yeah. We did that earlier. It actually did that. So, okay. I didn't realize it. I actually piped it to a Python file. So we'll don't worry. Hang tight, everybody. We'll see that. All right. So now, man, something is in my throat. All right. When we get down here, so this is where we're going into an infinite loop. And just to say, hey, in a request, right? I mean, you could simply make it a Kali-like prompt, right? You could just say in a request, Kali NLP instructions. Therefore, just to say, hey, we're going to do this. It's natural language processing. And so, why? Oh, because it's newer. It's not going to let me do that? Okay, fine. Whatever. What are you doing to me? All right, let's go back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right. Either way, but you can put whatever you want there. And then, so here's where we're opening the prompt file that we put over here. Why did I put this in a separate file? Just to make it easier to reference. Okay, you can just open that up and modify it, and it just makes it easier to reference and change and modify. So, and then we're using the replace method to find that input in brackets that we did before, and we're changing it to what we're populating here in request. And so they're populating the variable request using the input that we're giving it. And then what's going to happen is that prompt is the OpenAI API is going to evaluate the natural language command that I give it. It's going to make an inference, and then it's going to give me the Kali Linux equivalency of that, and only that. So it's basically going to give me that command line prompt. I'm going to take it. So I'm taking it in here, and I'm going to process it using the subprocess library to run that command in a shell and then I'm going to pipe that or process that out to the standard terminal, and print. And I'm also printing the command. I'm saying, hey, here's just because I wanted to see, like, here's the command that it is, and then it's running that command. And that's it. And then I'm also piping all that out. Everything that I do, it's going to give me a log of the natural language processing request that I did, and then the output and the command and the output. So that's here. I just think this is so cool here. Oops. Yeah. So, oops, wrong one. Here you can see this is the kind of history of everything I've done playing around on here, right? So it doesn't give the full output, but what it does, it tells you what request I made. So here was a natural language request that I made of what are my network interfaces, and it gave me the command if config. Now, and there was even a more complicated one here, like what is my local IP address? And it gave me this multifaceted, complex command with all the pipes and then grepping or searching, and then it gave me that. So you can actually go through here, reference it, and kind of learn from it. So it's another way to kind of learn the Kali Linux as well. So let's see this in action. And this is what Gregor and I were playing with before we got on here, and we were having fun with it. But all right, let's come here, and we're simply just going to run Python terminal GPT complete. There we go. All right. What's really cool about this is I can just enter regular commands to include DOS commands, right? I can just say CLS. So we would not be able to use CLS. Let me just show you that real quick. So CLS, not a command. The command is clear. But if I ran my terminal GPT and I typed CLS, wait, what did it?
Just worked.
Yeah, hold on. Did I change something? Yeah, hold on. I hold on.
Oh, the tokens.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't like that. Okay, that's right.
So 469.96.
I think that it wants the 4096, I think.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Or I can just I can take that out. I can just take max tokens out altogether. We don't need it. Okay. And now let's go. There we go. And say I did CLS, and then it did that. So now I can go and so I can just use regular natural language commands. So what is? I can even watch. I can misspell stuff instead of what twat is my local IP. There it is. And so it will literally, you can misspell things, you can use DOS commands, and all of that. So I can go through and I can say, do I have any vulnerabilities on this computer? See, now look at this. It's running like
nice.
This is actually telling me to. This is. I think this thinks that I want to do upgrades and updates. That's right. I'll let it.
Yeah, and Linux to check the computer. Really nice.
So you can pretty much use this just for a. You don't have to be. Wow, it's doing all this, man. I don't know what it's doing, but you can literally know very little about Kali Linux. What's that look? It's literally checking every single thing on this computer.
Still updating.
Yep. So while we're waiting on this, all right. And by the way, so yeah, I see there are some people watching on YouTube and also in LinkedIn. I can't see who all's. I can't see how many people are watching on LinkedIn, and sometimes I may not be able to see commands, depending on how your security settings are, I may or may not be able to see your chat, is what I meant to say, coming from LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So if you have any requests, if you want to see if it can do something, let me know. I'm going to let this finish updating and then drink water. What about you, Gregor? Anything? We'll get into some really cool pen testing things here in a minute, but
yeah, I want to see the Linux output, to be honest, but he's still updating. Yeah, 14 people, and Perry also wrote that just now.
Perry from I'm not going to dox you, but yeah, I guess we can we could do this a little bit. If we wanted to, we could go overlay. Got a few. No. Oh, there we go. Boom. While it's updating, I wish we could like move things around it. Maybe we did this a little better. I don't know. While it's updating, yeah. So one of the things that I found that was interesting was even using Shell GPT. Like last video, we used Shell GPT, and it was telling us it would not write exploit code, right? It was telling it, I write it. No, I can't do that. But this method, my secret method that I came up with, it'll write exploit code using censored models. What is this thing doing? It did a lot. I told it to check for vulnerabilities, and instead it went to go like literally update everything. Let's take that off.
I should stop it. Just a bit
I guess like
too much.
I mean, yeah, here, I'll kill it. You're just wasting my time, dude. See, oh wait, I'm no longer in my thing, so I gotta go here. Okay. All right. CLS is just easier to type than clear. Right? It's just one less letter. All right. So let's say
install Linux.
What's that?
The Linux. Let it install it. Maybe it's doing it that way better.
The which one? The
Linux to check the Kali.
There we go. Oh, it's already installed.
Nice.
Okay. Graded. All right, so it's going to do its thing. Let it finish. But let me show everybody. And by the way, if the code is not complicated. Typically, I reserve giving people the code for all the customers, the students. But this one, it's so short and so easy. I'll put the code in the comments for LinkedIn and in the description for YouTube. And what is it doing? And it is a little slower because I'm running on a virtual machine. The following new packages will be installed. And it's trying. Taking a while. I guess I could just run parallel. Right? Let that run. It's about the same, right? Is that the same size? It's a little bigger, huh?
That's good.
All right, there we go. All right, so where are we at? No. Okay. And
no receipt.
Do what?
Receipt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Recipe. Okay.
Oh, recipe. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll run. I don't know what that thing's doing, so we'll just run this one here. All right, so we'll just run here. And so if we actually went through and said, like we did this before, okay, write an exploit script in Python that will provide a byte code, or is it byte code or byte code? Byte code payload that will return a CMD shell on a, oops.
Yeah. No.
Okay, let's try this again. All right, my own fat fingers. All right, so write a Python payload to a payload in Python that uses bytecode to return a CMD shell from a Windows computer. Now, this would absolutely be refused in censored models. GPS isn't ChatGPT, it's not going to do it. However, did it actually do? Yeah, it said no platform was selected, choosing MSF module platform Windows from the payload. No architect selected, or architect, so payload. Okay, so it actually used it did this, used MSF Venom, and then if we go here, there it is, and look at that. So I don't know if it would I'm not going to test that right now. I don't have a vulnerable machine to test on or whatever, but the fact that it used now, so we don't have like recursive memory or chat conversational memory in this, right? We could add that. It's a little tricky. Like, so for example, if I said, okay, write a complete exploit using that, it doesn't know what that is. It doesn't know what it's talking about because it didn't get this output, right? And so
No context.
yeah, there's no context. There's no chat history. But if we wanted to add that, okay, we would have to create a conversational and I don't have CoPilot here. I guess I could. Let me see if I have CoPilot installed. Makes it easier. GitHub CoPilot. So I can install my GitHub CoPilot. And then I've got to log in.
Off screen.
Yeah. So I think we're losing a few people. I think that either this is not structured enough or it's too complicated for some people. But I'm telling you, if this script is all you need and it makes running things like Kali Linux and doing things in Kali Linux very easy just using natural language. All right, so if we wanted to give this, the tricky part is, so like if we established, I may have to log in real quick. Yeah, I got to sign in. It's going to be, hold on real quick. I'm just going to grab my password over here. Where is my dang? Oh, there it is. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, we're gonna grab GitHub. Okay. Yeah. There we go. My password's just a bunch of dots. Use passkey. I don't have Bitwarden installed on here. Well, that's gonna make it. Yeah.
Just don't.
Touch your security key. That's not gonna work. All right. I guess I just won't use.
Mhm.
That's all right. We just won't use it. All right. Cancel. All right. So what we'll do is up here we can establish a conversation history. And we'll just. Oh, I forgot. It's not Java. I was working in JavaScript today, so I'm wanting to put a semicolon after everything. All right. So we'll establish that conversation history, and then we will immediately have to push the system prompt into that. And so right here, because here's where we're going to call that. So here we would actually do conversation history. Should be dot push. Is that right? Push, and then I forgot it. This is why I need my CoPilot, because I forgot off the top of my head. We should be able to. Why is that not? My IntelliSense is not working for me. Should be push, right?
Not pipe?
Yeah. No, it should be push. It's an array.
Mhm.
So I should just be able to do a dot push here real quick. I'm showing my Linux ignorance here real quick. This thing is being annoying. Come on. All right. That's not what I wanted. Let's pull that over here. Okay. And let me go here. Okay. Real quick, I'm just testing something. Oh, I'm thinking JavaScript. That's why. I'm thinking JavaScript. I was right. I was working in JavaScript today. Append, because I'm an idiot. Okay. And so we have to build the entire thing here. So what we'd have to do is for the OpenAI, hold on. Just let me get this out of the way. All right. So for the OpenAI conversation to work properly, we have to put in the role. And so that would be role. And this one will be system.
Mhm.
That's the system prompt. And then comma content. And then it's going to be prompt. Oh, we don't need the. prompt. Okay, so that should push in that. So now here, instead of passing it in just the prompt, we're going to pass in the conversation history. So now we're constantly pushing in that conversation history. And then that's actually, yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Then once we get this, we're also then going to push that into the conversation history as well. Actually, we need the input. So after we grab this input, and actually this, we need to push this to the very top. So that gets pushed in first. And we don't want that pushed in every time, do we? We don't want it to constantly loop and push that in. So we're going to do that there. And it's outside of
The loop.
the function. So we should be able to grab that there. And we don't need this here. So let's just comment this out for now.
And content, there's a T missing.
Where?
Content. So conversation history, append,
Oh.
role, system, content, prompt.
There you go. There's that. And then, okay. So now we've got that. Now let's grab the input. So now that we pushed that once, now every time we get this input, we're going to push that in. And we're going to, same thing. So conversation history dot append. And we're going to do the same thing. Another thing we need to do here is when we call the so this needs to actually now be conversation history. And we're going to keep that in the brackets because that is in an array and we're not pushing the arrays in there. So there's that. And now go back here. And then what we're going to push in there is role, user, content. And that's going to be request. So now it's going to populate what's in. There's a problem. Do you see the problem? Is that never mind. I did this wrong. This is not supposed to be this here. It is supposed to do every time because we're not sending it a system prompt, right? We're just not sending it a system prompt. And a system prompt is optional. So this is correct. Because it's just remember, it's literally just going to give us back it's just going to give us back the command that it gives us, right? And so this is not supposed to be system here. This is just going to be assistant. All right, if I'm confusing some of you with, if I'm confusing you with like what I'm doing here with the roles and user, this is all stuff that we've covered before in like how to structure the OpenAI API call. All right, so now we're getting that. Now what we need to do is we need to get the output here, which is going to be the process. So we're running that. And so that's going to print it out to the standard line there. But now what we're also going to do, oops, it's because I don't have it wrapped, I guess. Okay, there we go. It is wrapped. I mean, we're going to update the conversation history again. Append. and we're going to put the process in. So this is going to be command. This is not what I meant to do. Yeah, that is what I meant to do. Yeah, so we're going to pin this, and it's going to be role is also assistant, I guess. And I see something I should probably do here. Assistant and content is process. I think I want to combine these. So I want to get yeah, I guess I need to update that, right? So the assistant is we're getting the prompt, putting it there, and then it's going there, and that's going to be actually we're getting the command. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. So we're getting the command out there. So yeah, okay, I was wrong here. We don't need I guess that is correct. And we'll see if it works. But what I wanted to do was I want to make sure that we're also getting the results here in conjunction with this. So we're going to get the input, and then that's technically, I guess, would be a separate call. So I'm just wondering if I need to include all of that. I guess I do. Okay, so and this is actually, since I'm getting that, and that's going to be the prompt, this is actually from the user. And we don't need to do it here. Yeah, that's going to be better. Okay. I mean, it's going to create a lot of tokens doing that, but that's fine. So we just need to do it there. Then we're getting the process output here. But I also want to kind of know the command. So I guess what I'll do is we'll go. How about this? Because I'm wondering. Yeah, we'll do command. We'll probably need to go here so we can go command /n process. But what I'm concerned about, I guess that'll work. Oh, and I need this. Okay. I'm assuming, I think this is going to work.
Let's try it.
Perry says, I've grown accustomed to a constant state of confusion. So, all right. All right. So there we go. I think that's going to work. I think that it will give us a constant stream of conversation history. And I'm probably wrong, but let's try it out. Now we probably need, what happened over here? Yeah, it's jacked up.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, let's see if this works. Okay. So I should just be able to say, okay, what is my IP address. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, oh, I know why.
Yeah.
It wants this in a text, so that's easy. That's easy to fix. All right, so yeah, all this should be. Yeah, all of this. Yeah, all that needs to be in quotes or single quotes at least. Okay, there's that. Is there any others?
We will find out.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Hmm.
And self request. Yeah, there's a. Okay, so we got message. We got the role user. Provide me with the color. Got that.
Hmm.
It's so it's not we're not getting it formatted properly, but we got this. Oh, I think I know why. Because it's not putting a comma in there. So it just roll content. Okay, that's right. We just that's all that's happening. We're not formatting the request properly, and we're not updating the conversation history properly. So we're appending this, and I wonder if we need to put that all into a. Wonder if we should put all of that into a text string or in quotations to make sure it's a string. Because we're not using the JSONify. So I think if we just put that in quotes, then that should work. And then put this comma here. And then same thing for here. Because we're not using JSONify, which is a library that oh geez. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this. Single. And single. There we go. But then that doesn't take the formatting though, does it? Or does it? Does it work? Yeah. That should take the formatted string.
Should.
Okay. So try that again. What's it not liking?
Response.
Yeah, it's taken all of no, that should work. Yeah, it's just not liking my conversation history formatting. And since I'm not using JSONify, okay, well, let's go back, take these out, figure out where we're going wrong. Anybody from the peanut gallery see my mistake there? All right, we got that. Let's take this out. I think I might have to end up using JSONify to populate this. Okay. Yeah, I might have to do that because when I do that, this is the proper format. Role, assistant, content, prompt. So that's the proper way. But the problem is when you get in these brackets. So hold on real quick. Let me just verify. Make sure. All right. Let me just do this real quick. I'm testing it with my code over here. So we're going to go real quick. Push on a JSON string into conversation history, which is an array of JSON strings. All right. So yeah, this technically should work. Hold on, let me look at the error again. That's how it's done. Why is it giving me problems? Yeah, so it is is of not of type object. So we have this is proper, that's proper. This, so it's telling me is not of type object, invalid request, parameter code. Okay, so it's not liking the format of the conversation history here. And my guess is that it probably doesn't want that. And real quick, what I'm going to do is hold on. I'm going to cheat. Well, I'm not going to cheat. All right. Real quick. So this is turning out to be a little bit of an issue like we had last time in that. So I really believe that. So this is the proper string format. I mean, this is the proper JSON. This is how you push into. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. If we look at the error, so I don't know that we actually do need the brackets here. I guess we do. But yeah, see there's a quote there. And I don't think that we need to have the brackets here. Where are we at? So let's pull conversation history. And then, this is I messed this up. So this actually needs to stay prompt. Just like we had it before. So actually, that would be, hold on real quick. I guess I did have it. That was the problem. I forgot to put this back to the, actually, let me just back out real quick. And then I'll go back. I'll go forward again. I just want to see. I forgot exactly how I had it. Come on. Okay. That's where it was. Let me copy this. That's where the error was happening. All right. And so let's go back. So prompt, that should have been just conversation history, I'm guessing. Still probably going to want those brackets, but we'll see. Almost,
Yeah, quite close.
but it's not staying within the loop.
Hmm.
So
Exiting
so
now.
yeah. So it's almost there. So um, it's getting so outside the loop here. Session history. So we're in the loop, and we're getting the request,
Mhm.
and then oh wait, and I wonder. No, that's fine. And then conversation history, and then I do think that most likely probably needs. I'm probably going to have to just do a JSONify thing to where we're pushing that because it's not liking this. We need to be able to push the entire string there. So instead of an array, yeah, we probably need to um, build some sort of a. Let me look real quick at my references. All right, so you have any ideas there, Gregor?
Hmm. Nope.
Okay,
Would have been
so yeah, so it's a little bit the problem what we're having is that being able to pull shell output and push it into the conversation history is a little bit of an issue as well. So that's making it a little bit more difficult. And so what I'll do is I'm just going to go back and look at one of my other things here. Open folder. I'm just looking at one of my other scripts real quick because I forgot how to use JSONify. All right. Oh, my dog's barking. I don't know if you could hear that. All right. So real quick, let me just look at the syntax for JSONify, and I'm pretty sure that's the problem. And one second. I'm just looking for one that has the JSONify. It's in here somewhere. Okay, and or if you can look it up real quick. I can't find it. I can't find my JSONify. Or am I thinking JavaScript again?
You are.
Am I thinking JavaScript again? Okay, hold on real quick. I just can't remember how to use JSONify. Okay, real quick. Look at my reference. I want to get bad reviews on this.
Better than last time.
Look at this is we're running slow. All right, so real quick, let me go.
I promise I'm not at home. That makes it a bit messy.
Object. Real quick. I knew it. Yeah. It's not JSONify. It's just JSON.
Hmm?
Okay. So here we have to import JSON. It's just JSON. And then the
command.
yeah. All right. Here, this is how we do it. Okay. Now, actually, do I have it in here? I guess I do. It's not giving me any weird funkiness there. So what we'll do is every time we do this, we have to go. Okay. So so JSON string equals, and now we pull this. Up here. So that's our JSON string. And then we're going to, JSON string equals, JSON dot loads. That doesn't seem right.
JSON, no, dumps is not. It's not dumps.
Oh, my bad. I see it. I jumped ahead.
Loads. JSON loads. Yeah.
Sorry. And then JSON object. Sorry. Equals. That's what it is. JSON dot. See, it doesn't.
Should be.
Trying to say that's not right, but we'll see if that's. It might be an outdated library. So then here we can just go into JSON object. Oops. Okay. So that should be right. And then we'll do the same thing. Update the conversation history there. So we'll do it over again. And then we do it again. JSON string equals this. Oops. JSON object equals JSON dot load. See there?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. JSON string JSON object. So that should be right. So now we're populating the conversation history with actual JSON objects, and this is an array of JSON objects. So that should be right. And then here we're just passing the array in there. All right. I doubt it's going to work, but we're getting closer. What? Why is that not? That's weird. That's okay. And just stop. All right. Okay. Yeah, see, it doesn't like that loads. What is the?
It's weird. It should not. Okay. There isn't even a typo in there, so it's all right.
Yeah, let me see.
String bytes or byte array, not dictionary. So it thinks it's a dictionary. Why?
Why does it want to do this to me? Oh, my bad. I don't, yeah. So this is already a JSON object. So a JSON object, yeah, is a dictionary, but this is already a JSON object.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's already a JSON object. Same thing with this. Yeah, so I don't need to do this. Okay. There we go. So it's still doing this weird thing. And I think, see, it's doing that same dang thing. Maybe I do need to put this in brackets now. Right? Because that totally breaks it. This whole, that totally breaks it. Okay. It won't.
Killed it.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, that's fine. We'll just open it back up. There we go. And we'll go back into, oh, that's a little too big for me. All right, so we'll go back into, what was it? CD. Nope. Wait, we're up. Chapter 6, that's what I thought. Man, I'm having trouble with this directory switching.
Hmm.
All right, there we go. So Python. So now we're back to that. It doesn't like the object again. I guess I was effectively doing. I just did the same thing. All right, so I'll probably have to go back and debug this and figure out why it's not liking the conversation history. So I'm going to provide the code for everybody in the description, as well as the. I'll provide a link to the code. That way, I think pasting code into the YouTube description might be a little bit questionable. So I'll paste like a Dropbox download to that code, and so. But the goal here is what we're doing is we want to take this Kali script and we want to give it contextual memory so that if I say, what is my IP address? And it gives me that IP address. And then I can, instead of saying, scan my computer or scan this IP, instead of scanning IP address and then actually giving the IP address, I can just say, what's my IP address? Gives me the IP address. Then I can just say, okay, or I can say, give me a list of IP addresses on my network. So it'll run nmap, give me a list of IP addresses on my network. So, and then I can say, all right, do a vulnerability scan on those IPs. And by me saying those IPs, it will be in the historical context. And I can just do this with a chat history context as opposed to just being one-off commands. And that's the goal here. And I typically don't have an issue with updating conversation histories and stuff like that. But here, right now, it's giving me an issue. And I think it's my lack of familiarity with the how to do it in Python because I've been doing it in JSON and JavaScript for so long. I know that method, and I'm getting a little bit messed up here. So what I'll do is we'll fix this off screen, and then I'll put up another video of like, okay, here's how we fixed it and everything like that. And so, all right, so we'll do that. Yeah, we lost everybody. So sorry, everybody, but this is I was experimenting here on treading new ground on how to take this method and turning it into the chat and everything like that. But we'll get it updated. We'll get the new video out to you and all that. So, but for now, at least you got to see the script working. So the episode 1, we broke things. In episode 2 today, we had it working and showed you it all working. We tried to do something else and broke it. So then next episode, we'll get that working, and then we'll break something else. That's just how it's going to work. Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I'll provide the code to everybody. Experiment with it, play with it, and then I'll show you the updated version next video. So, cool. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot, and take care. We'll see you on the next one. Fixed. Later.